A very, very warm welcome. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And my name is Arturo Mazzaro.
And together we are...
Conscious World Agents.
Yes.
CWA.
CWA. And this is our weekly Facebook Live. And we just come back from our friend Aramik. He was doing an interview the whole day, a celebration.
Yeah.
So we had a lovely few interviews with him there. It was really lovely to be there and meeting some very inspirational people. And what I really like about Aramik is that he's someone who runs a business, but he is really an entrepreneur rather than a planner, and I think that's really unique. That is one of his gifts. He gives so much, and his wife Chantal as well, and they're so generous, and I think that is one of the qualities that that we can cultivate more of in the world, and really a passion for helping others, being kind-hearted, and I think that was a real good confirmation of what we wrote about this week, to see this really in action. That he really embodies that. He's the embodiment of kindness, he's the embodiment of generosity, the embodiment of humility as well, I think, in a way. He doesn't really, it's more about helping others and
and still he has a lot of strength and power.
Totally.
And,
that is not when
energy.
You're humble, doesn't mean he always has this. For me, like, humility is about the willingness to still want to learn from others, and I think that is so strong in him. And so tonight we are here to talk about that, to talk about our posts that were about frequency. So thank you for watching, and if you're watching later, then we really hope you enjoy being with us every week. We're heading to our first year, the celebration of our first year CWA. So we're still thinking about how we do that day, celebrate that day. And we really hope that you have benefited. And when we look at our YouTube channel and when we hear the comments, it seems like a lot of people find it really helpful, and we really enjoy doing this. But of course it can't be without you all, without the interactions that we have with you, and the comments that we get, and the feedback, and the sharing of your stories. That means so much to us. So thank you so much for watching always, and being part of the Conscious World Agents group. So our group of Conscious World Agents is growing and growing, and we're really excited that tomorrow we start our second module of our year program. We have 4 modules in that one, so we have the group coming back tomorrow for the second module. And wow, when we hear already the transformation they've gone through in that first quarter of the year, it's just phenomenal. And we don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it, and it's amazing to observe that and to get their feedback and what have you. So what we've decided, and we'll come back to that later in this recording, is that on the 19th of March we shall start the second program, starting with the 4-leaf clover program, which you can find out more on our website, consciousworldagents.com. But we're starting then, and we have a very good offer for you about that. And we also, on the 15th of January, we have the Experience Day again, which is one whole day that you'll spend with us, and we'll just do everything to help you to make the first steps towards fulfilling your dream, your goal, or at least getting in touch with your calling, your true purpose, that you will really start to get a sense of that. And that's on the 15th of January, and we also have a very, very nice offer for you there. So today is all about giving. We've given a lot, and we're going to give some more later to you, and that is just out of our gratitude for you, and we just love doing that. So this week our post was about frequency.
Yes, frequency.
Frequency. So do you want to start now? Or?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. What I wrote was, I started with a quote from Nikola Tesla. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know and understand the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, vibration. More or less, Einstein said the same. And he said, everything is energy, everything has a frequency. What you send out, you will get back. The universe will respond. And it's not a philosophy, it's a science. And a lot of people know this. It's not new. But do you really understand it? And that's important. Do you really feel that this is the truth? That everything is energy. The table, the chair you're sitting on, the glass that you're holding for the tea, the coffee, or anything else. But also your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. That is also energy. And what you see is that a lot of people know about this, well, this saying of these two guys, and they're not the only ones. It's already said for about 1,000 years. And there is a choice, the choice on which frequency you can think, you can feel, you can act. And there is, when we look at the human level, then things come in pairs, but also in poles. For instance, there's high and there's low, there's fast and there's slow. So all these kind of things, they have their poles and they come in pairs. And the same is with the feelings, the emotions we have. So you can show compassion or aversion. Yeah? You can show love, or you can go for hate. So it all comes in pairs. In nature, more or less, they are the same emotion, but the degree of frequency and how denser it is, or how more lighter it is, that makes the difference. And the nice thing is that if you choose for one of them, there is also the absence of the other one. So if you choose for love, there is also the absence of hate. If you choose for compassion, there is the absence of aversion. If you choose for trust, there's the absence of doubt. If you choose for joy, there's the absence of grief. And if you choose for the, well, let's say more the negative emotions, although there are not a positive and a negative emotion, it's just an emotion, but just to have this conversation right now, most of the times you understand if I say the negative emotions, like hate and frustration, angerness, and these kind of things, they are much more dense and they feel much heavier. They bring you down and you feel it. It's not a nice feeling. And when you choose for compassion, for love, for faith, for trust, for joy, it lights you up. And once it lights you up, that's the frequency that you send out then to the universe. And then the secret is that if you understand that it's about energy, frequency and vibration, you can choose. You can choose which one you want. And it doesn't mean that everything is joy in life, that there is everything is going well. No. But you can choose to dwell in the angerness. You can choose to dwell in frustration or hate. But does it make you happy? Does it give you the result you want? How do you feel in the evening when you go to bed with choosing the lower vibrations? And then you fall asleep with this feeling, this vibration. And then the next day you stand up, you wake up, and then with what vibration are you waking up? Instead of going to bed with that higher vibration. probably your night and your sleep will be different. You will wake up different. And every time you have an influence on the whole day, on the interaction with other people. It's up to you. So what we would like to say to you, choose wisely. And it doesn't mean you have to accept everything other people do to you. But can you choose that you come from love and still give your boundaries? Can you choose to come from passion and still say, okay, it's not on my shoulder?
Very nice.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, and of course we can talk a lot about that, and I think, you know, like you're saying, it's been for thousands of years, this knowledge has been here, that, you know, that there's people in the Eastern philosophies, in the traditions, who said this also and try to understand why we have that tendency to think negatively, or, you know, and then that we become aware that we can change that. And there's nothing new about that, but it's something we're just not so aware of, like you're saying, you know. So we have a choice, that we at least become aware that we have a choice in how we feel. I think that's beautiful.
And what I once read was that a student asked to the guru or the teacher, what's the difference then between, well, let's say the guru, the enlightened person, and what's the distinguish between that person and me? How is it possible that he can choose for love and I feel the frustration or the hate and so on? And then the answer was more or less like this, that, well, there's not a much difference, but inside of the person there is the total absence of hate. There's the total absence of frustration. There's the total absence of doubt. So it's not possible anymore to choose. It's the other side is there within it, within the person. And the same is for you. When you were born, you were only love, you were only compassion, you were only joy. And all the other things we learned. So go back to the things, to that person you was when you came to this nice planet.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and we were talking about this this afternoon when we were being interviewed by Armik Garbidian, I must say, and he also, you know, somebody, it was all live the whole day, and one of the viewers asked, so, you know, what do I do then with this anger if I still have feelings of anger? So, you know, we don't say that you should suppress that anger, you know, just if the anger is there, just acknowledge it. And like you said, it's just an emotion, an energy in motion.
Yeah.
However, we can check up, because we think about this thought that brings a certain emotion up in us, and then we get a feeling in our body, like you're saying, feel how do you go to bed at night. And so if the anger is already there manifested, don't then suppress it. Just, okay, be aware of it, acknowledge it, and then see if you can change your thought, just as an experiment, and then what does it do to you? So if I think of something in a different way, maybe I should perhaps, the way I think about this situation, start to pre-frame it, use another viewpoint in how this situation could be different if I would apply it, for example, more compassion or something. And then check up what is then the emotion, what is then the feeling you have, and what starts to happen. Your brain starts to change. So, like you're saying, in time, the connections in your brain, you're on a physiological level, will change as well. So your first thought will not be anger anymore in time, but it's like practicing, we can cultivate that. And like you said, we have already that seed in our heart. We were born with that. So the more we do that, the more we practice that with awareness, consciously choose, like you're saying, then we start to develop that more. And that is so beautiful. And once you know that, and I don't know if we said it before, but someone said if you for every negative thought, and we will say the negative, unhelpful, if a stone would drop out of the sky on your head, you would never think a negative thought again. You go, oh my God!
I think it was Bashar.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking Bashar.
I think it's such a lovely saying, because you are then more mindful. Oh my gosh! And don't judge it; just acknowledge it. But can you change it with something that is on the other, like the polarization, like you said? So yeah, I absolutely loved your post, and I do like always that when we write our post, we come together, and then also we give our own views, and we
intertwinkle.
That's right, the intertwinkle. That's what we used to call them. Instead of intertwine, we intertwinkle. Yeah. And that's so true. We get inspired by that, and we experiment with it as well. So the post, what I was writing about was also about frequency, and it was also about that. So I can just say second everything you said, and I say it in my words, of course, but the frequency is exactly that. And what I also would like to add to that is, say for example you are with someone, because you touched on that as well. You're in a situation and you feel that energy is draining. There is like a dense energy. See what you can do. See what you can then do to acknowledge that it's there and observe that it's there, and feel what it does on your body, and then choose love. Choose to be kindness. Go into your heart and see what happens if you start to really embody that. The compassion, you could even think, wow, that must be really sad in their maybe ways how they think or whatever. There's maybe something going on in their lives, but have some compassion for what's happening, because they are not aware perhaps that they can also change their frequency, or maybe they're actually going through a very difficult time in their life, and that they're just hurting, or they experiencing pain of life. Life brings us many things that are not easy to go about with sometimes, and just have that sense of compassion, and instead of them being sucked into that energy, just stay that embodiment of love that you already are, and see if you can then start to emanate that. Can you just start to radiate that, and somehow that might help in that situation to lift also the others, because if everything is connected and if everything is frequency, you might, just by being love, by just being kindness, it might help them. And so that is something that you can also have a choice, and you can also have you can do an action in that moment. Take that personal responsibility also for, I can get sucked into this, or I can stay really in the embodiment of love. And we can spread kindness everywhere. We were saying this afternoon, buy someone a coffee, buy someone lunch, pick up the phone, say, how are you doing? Or smile in the streets. It's as simple as that. And if people are wanting to have a confrontation with you or something like that, say, I don't want to go there right now. It's just, and if there's something that needs to be discussed, of course you can have a dialogue or discussion, but can we come from a stance of understanding, the willingness to understand each other and not to be right? Can we be kind to one another? Can we embody kindness for a moment? And somebody said on another quote, there's always time. I think it was His Holiness Dalai Lama. There's always a time and a place to be kind. Always and everywhere. And that's true, but just check up, just as you said, how do I feel? How do I feel when I'm angry? We all know that feeling. The chest tightens, the jaw tightens, the blood rate goes up. Oh, and on. And then we see it subside, because it's an emotion, so it moves. So we never, you all have been angry once or twice maybe in your life, or maybe more. Now perhaps you're not angry. There might be another emotion. So they come and they go, and they come and they go. And next time when they come, just notice that that's just what they do. You don't have to react on them.
No.
You can just see, it's an energy in motion, but my underlying frequency is calm. My underlying frequency is innate kindness, innate love and compassion. The only thing is, we were not taught from a very young age, for many of us, how to develop that. So once we learn how that we are the master of our mind, not the servant of our mind, but we are the master of our mind, we choose to think positively. And that somehow changes the frequency.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that was my addition to the understanding, our understanding of frequency as such.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Once I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer said, well, what happens if you squeeze an orange?
Okay.
And then, of course, what comes out is orange juice. Will there ever come out apple juice? Or banana juice, if that exists? No, why not? Because it's not in it. And the same is for you. If anger comes out, if frustration comes out, if anxiety comes out, if all these kind of things, it's inside of you. And once it's inside of you and you cultivate it and you are attached to it, you will see it much more also in the outside world, because that's the frequency that you send out. And please understand the secret of the universe, because it's pretty simple. We don't say it's easy to apply it every time in your life. But this afternoon I also said, a few years ago I said to myself, I won't tolerate anymore that I will be angry. I won't be angry anymore. That's it. If I feel the anger coming up, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do something else. So decide one thing for yourself. Which emotion that drains the energy, that feel heavy for you, where you're really not happy with. Take one and decide from now on, I won't go to there anymore. I think you said it about the tight shoes. Who said it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's about the shoot. Yeah, once I was in Nepal, and I'd been doing whitewater rafting, and in the night we were all sitting together, and I was going through quite a difficult time, whenever time, and he says, like, why don't you change your shoes? When the shoes are, is that the one you mean or not?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he says, it's like your shoe is when it's hurting, you change your shoes.
Yeah.
So if that feeling that you're having is giving you pain, like, that can get mental pain or whatever, change your thought. And in this situation it was something else. But it is like that. When your shoes hurt, you put other shoes on, right? You don't keep walking the rest of your months when you go climbing or whatever in those shoes that are hurting.
But most likely a lot of people choose to feel still the frustration or the anger or the jealousy. But if it hurts you, why should you do it? And this is the simple way to say it. And again, it's not easy to change it, but that will ask from you a conscious choice.
Yeah, every time. It's like planting the seed in your mind every time. That's what we still do. It's not that we have mastered it completely, or don't think so, but it's just like you say.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you have to accept everything that another person will do to you.
No.
You can give your boundaries. You can say no. But can you say no and be clear without all these emotions that you're attached to? It has a charge, and this charge will have a response from the other side.
Definitely. Okay. Wow. We're having a good talk tonight. So thank you for watching. That you're still with us. And before we finish, then we would like to tell you what is on about the Experience Day on the 15th of January.
Yeah.
So it's a whole day with us. If you want to know and learn more about these things that we speak about today, and learn some tools and get some tools and some skills, and we draw out of you what you already know, because you are a fountain of wisdom, whether you believe it or not. But we will definitely help you with that. And if you want to find out more about Experience Day or our 4-leaf clover program, go on our website consciousworldages.com. And for the Experience Day, from now till the 21st of December, we have an offer on.
Yes.
If you buy 1 ticket, you get 1 ticket free. So you can take someone with you who really perhaps wants to join, and perhaps you want to give. It's a month of giving, so maybe you want to give someone a wonderful Experience Day as well. So go on our website. You can you can click on there, and then it'll take you to the place where you can buy the tickets. And for the 4-leaf clover program, we have an amazing offer because we start on the 19th of March.
March 19th, 2022.
It's a year program, and it's got 8 days with us, 4 weekends. 4 weekends.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then we have the first weekend starts on the 19th of March. So every quarter you have a weekend. And that is normally €2,108, and we have given you €500 off from that until, I don't know exactly which day, but maybe.
Yeah,
but
it's an early bird.
Yeah, it's an early bird. So if you really been thinking about it, please go on the website and have a look. And if there's any more information you want, there's information on there, and otherwise you can always email us as well. So, very excited about that. And tomorrow we'll have our weekend here with the participants from the 4-leaf clover program as well. So we're really looking forward to seeing them. We're wishing you a fantastic weekend.
Yes. And do at least 2 things that will light you up, will give you the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's anything you wish to share, any feedback, please write it down below in the questions, and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you hopefully next week.
Bye-bye.